home, baby. Well, guess what? I'm home. I'm home, baby. I am back on my s1000rr 2022 M Sport version, and it is good to be back. It is good to be back. I just wanted to do a quick blast on the Beamer. I haven't done a full video review of this yet, but I'm going to. But after my experience yesterday, test riding the 22 s1000 single R, I just had to get back on this morning to rekindle my faith in BMW, because the more I've reflected on that bike, the more I've disliked it. It is, I mean, these two bikes are, they're not even from the same family, surely. I was really surprised yesterday by that test ride. This sports bike, supposedly, you know, all top end, blah blah blah, has way more bottom end punch, way more than the single R. Okay, yeah, it's got a lot more horsepower, but it's supposed to be the sports bike. You know, the other one was supposed to be the talky naked street bike. Well, it ain't. But this is a great thing. And listen, I've got the Shorty Acra can on it, and it's farting and popping and making the most wonderful noises at any speed and any gear. I've got a brand new front tyre on this. It seems like every time I do a bike review I've got new tyres or whatever, but a brand new front tyre on this, because the one that came with the bike just had a slow leak in it and couldn't be fixed, so they replaced it. So I've only done like 20 Ks on this new tyre. And again, I have to be somewhat conscious of that, but at least the weather's a bit better this morning, and here we are, just a quick blast. Nice and agile, not as agile as the single R, because that was a very lightweight bike. It's still very agile, as you'd expect from a sports bike. But this is just its own thing, you know. I've been in the wilderness, the motorcycling wilderness, for a while, and I went and took this for a test ride. And every time I test ride a BMW s1000rr, I buy it. It's my fourth one. And there's a reason. They're their own thing, you know. They're their own thing. And I'm a road bike rider, okay? I am a road bike rider. I do bugger all track work. That might change. I used to do heaps, but I don't anymore. It might change, but I'm a road rider, and this 4A sports bike is a wonderful road bike. So good. It's obviously got all the creature comforts. I actually put a Sergeant seat on this because the M seat that came with the standard is just too hard for my bottom. I'd go on an hour ride, come back really sore. That has been transformed by the Sergeant seat, which I'll do a walk around later and show you. And I've also put Gillies bar risers on this because I was had slightly too much weight on my wrists, and it was getting sore after like 20 minutes. But what a beautiful smooth bike, this inline 4. And look, it's been criticised for being boring. It's not. There ain't anything boring about this. This is a genuinely fast super bike you can have fun with on the road. When I open that throttle, there's this beautiful linear torque delivery. And of course, if you want to live in the 10,000 RPM plus zone, it's just awesome. It is just awesome. The buzz, the rush you get. It's so good. I've got a vow to always have one of these in my garage. If I ever talk about selling this, talk me out of it. The sports bike that I had before this, the one I sold when I bought this, in fact I traded it in, I think. I traded it in. I got a reasonable trading value on it. Was the Ducati Panigale V4S 2021. And I tried desperately to love that bike, but I could never ride it. It rode me, you know. It was just, I always felt like I was sitting on top of it, that it was kind of, the tail was wagging the dog with that thing. It's obviously a wonderful track bike, but for road use it's just too much. It was too much of an angry beast. I never relaxed and felt comfortable and truly enjoyed my road riding on that bike like I can on this. And I didn't like the sound. I've never liked the sound of the Panigales. I've had the 1199, the first one, didn't like that. I thought it sounded like a tractor. And I didn't like the sound of the more recent one, the V4. It didn't sound like a V4, and look, it was loud. The stock exhaust was actually really loud, but it just got too much. It was like this, it had too much treble in the engine note, and yeah, I didn't like it. So yeah, tried to love it, couldn't. I never really wanted to ride it. Used to like looking at it, but you know, if you don't like riding it, even the looks eventually in your own mind change. Anyhow, enough of that, because I'm back home, and that is the BMW s1000rr. In fact, really, my motorcycle journey really came alive. I really found the passion for motorcycling once I test rode my first one of these. It was a 2013 variant, and that hooked me in. I fell in love with motorcycling. I just couldn't believe the comfort, the technology that was available on that first one I rode, and of course I've ridden them ever since. My first motorcycling channel, I did I did around 30 or 40 videos, most of them on the s1000rr. Went to the Snowy Mountains in Victoria, did a 7 series video on that, 7 episode series video on that. Did a lot of daily riding, commuting, and video logging, and discussed all sorts of weird and wonderful topics on that bike. I still have those videos. I may post them to this channel one day. I look back on them, you know, I was a younger, more carefree person back then, and I don't know, maybe they're good for nostalgic purposes. I might repost them one day. But it's just nice to go for a pleasant cruise like this on this wonderful, wonderful BMW. And yeah, I had to do it after yesterday. I just had to reacquaint myself with what BMW are capable of, because I just haven't been impressed with my last 2 test rides, the GS and the single R. I've got this bike in race mode. I pretty much leave it in race mode when I've got dry roads. Although race mode ain't going to like these speed humps. There are around 22 of these speed humps through here now. I counted them the other day when I was on the Ducati Multistrada, and they were quite enjoyable actually to take on the Multistrada. Just stand up. But on here it's a little more difficult. The fruit and veg get a little squashed. The suspension on this bike, I've got it in fairly firm setting, which I like on this. It's got the, obviously the active suspension, which works well on the road. The braking is best braking system on any bike for road use that I've ever ridden by far. Quick shifter, same. Quick shifter is smooth and reliable. Brakes are just awesome, mate. Just this thing stops so powerfully. Ooh, what's this character doing? Jockey. Oh no, no, let's overtake on double white lines on a blind corner. Good idea! Good idea, buddy-o! The wind protection's sensational. I've got the double bubble screen on it, but even the stock screen was fine. And of course you've got all the fairings on the big sports bike, which provide awesome wind protection. And this is a bigger bike than you think. When I put this next to the Aprilia Tuono, it looks monstrous next to that thing. It's not, but it just, look, in fact it might even be lighter than that, but it looks bigger, and that's because of the width of the fairings and the substantial nature of the fairings. This bike's obviously built for going 300, and so the fairings are an important feature there, and yeah, it makes it look big. It's got great presence, this bike, especially in this M Sport colour scheme, which you're going to see in a minute when I do my little walk around. There she is in all her glory. Love that Acra can. BD Moto, yeah, I've done the Brentune. I'll talk about that after my coffee. I'll talk about my Brentune experience. But there she is. The other really great thing about BMW that adds to the experience of owning this bike is the way they integrate their app. I can replay every ride I go on. There's no buttons I have to push. Just once you set it up, it just seamlessly integrates with the phone, and you can replay every ride. You can see where your traction control came on. You can see your lean angles. It's awesome. It's a really great feature, and unlike other bikes that I own, you don't have to go and get aftermarket connectors or even the you know, the regular connectors. You just basically plug and play, man. It's so good. I love it. It even attaches photographs of the day to your riding records. It's so good. I want to talk about Brentune. I actually got a tune for this bike and installed it, and I'm going to do a video. I'm going to reinstall it and do a video and show you what I'm talking about. But the Brentune on this is a non-US bike. This is obviously an Australian, European variant. And I did talk to Brentune about whether it would be appropriate, and they said yes, it would make a big difference, even though we don't have the flat spots that the US bikes do. Well, it was a complete disappointment. Couple of positives. Look, it was loud. I had the flap open, the exhaust valve open, and it was really loud. If you like that, go for it. I didn't like it. It was way too loud, way too drony on this style of bike. But definitely louder, which you will hear in a subsequent video. And it did actually make this wonderful quick shifter even better, which is hard to believe, but it did. But it made the bike feel slower. It might have been traction control potentially kicking in earlier, I don't know. But it felt slower.
Trapped on level 1, never going up, never going down. Here at ground level, low tech, oh I'm such a hound. Stuck in lockdown house, watching possums chase the mouse. I wanna get around, get downtown, break out and show some nous. I'm a low level to a devil, wishing I was high level. Facing all your pictures like the high level bitches. Taking control of my pigeonhole. I'm a low level devil in charge of ground level. Line about the rookies and the condescending guppies. Little people in my space, they get nothing in the face. I'm laden with all the wine, cause I'm hungry all the time. For the master's tug of war down here is cobra for the law. I'm a low level to a devil, wishing I was high level. Facing all your bitches like the high level bitches. Taking control of my pigeonhole. I'm a low level devil in charge of
The low speed manners, by the way, of this thing are awesome. This is a great commuter bike. I'll do a commuter video on this, but the lane filtering and the smoothness of the inline four down the low make this a really great commuter bike. I mean, these, I suppose it's super bike race bikes, but I mean they can do it all really. This thing's a weapon. Okay, the downhill pothole gravel braking test. It's just up here. Let's see how she goes. Oh, green tyre, remember? Yeah, so good. God, way too much braking power for me. Ooh, bush turkeys. They're menaces. Holy shitballs. They come out of nowhere, those buggers. See how fast that little fluffy chicken turned itself around. Saw the BMW bearing down on it. It got its behind 180 real fast. Okay, the change direction tests. Actually not as good as I would like. Pretty user error. Worried about these tyres. The speed hump test, which we've already done 1,000 times.